Hi, welcome to Harvard. My name is Reeves and I'm your Lexis rep here at Harvard. I was asked to make you this video specifically about adverse possession to help you get a jump start on your memo research. The goal of today's training is to get you comfortable navigating Lexis Advance. In today's training, I'm going to go over some really basic navigation skills, such as how to find the website, how to pull up a case or a statute, how to run a basic search, and then I'm going to go over how to run a search specifically in New York. To log into Lexis Advance, simply go to www.lexisnexis.com/law school. Next, type in your ID and password and click Sign In. If you're on your own computer, I strongly recommend that you check the Remember Me box first. That way, you will not have to remember your ID and password in the future. If you forget how to access Lexis Advance, go to the Harvard Law Library website and you will see a link to LexisNexis on the right-hand side. When you log in, the law school homepage will open. There are a number of useful resources on this page. For example, at the bottom of the screen, there is a link to videos as well as handouts that will help you become more familiar with how to use Lexis. On the right-hand side of the screen, there is a legal dictionary that you can use to look up new and unfamiliar legal phrases. This is also where you can access your Lexis Rewards points. Whenever you use Lexis, watch specific videos, and attend trainings, you earn points. You can use those points to buy things like Amazon gift cards. If you ever need to reach me, Reeves, your Lexis rep at Harvard, my contact information is located on the left-hand side of the screen. Additionally, you'll have access to the Harvard student reps. The student reps hold office hours Monday through Friday in the WC and are there to help you. Lastly, the training calendar is located on this screen. If you click View All, you will find a list of all of the trainings offered at Harvard. I regularly update the calendar so that there are always trainings available to you. The Lexis 101 training will be helpful to you. I strongly recommend that you attend. When you click on it, it will open up the Harvard LibCal calendar for you to sign up. To start your legal research, click the Go to Lexis Advance button located at the top of the screen. Let me give you an overview of what you're looking at. The red search box at the top is where you will start most of your legal research. From the History pod, you can access all of the research that you have conducted in the last 90 days. This is a great way to save time when you want to rerun a search or pull up a document that you've already looked at. It's easy to access your folders from the homepage. I'll show you how to do this in a little bit. Finally, if you need help conducting legal research or finding a specific document, you can always call 1-800-455-3947. This is a free hotline with legal research assistance. It is available 24/7, 365 days a year. To retrieve a specific case or statute, simply type in the name of the case and click Search. The fastest way to retrieve a case or a statute is to use the citation. If you know the citation, simply type it into the red search box and click Search. There is no need to use spaces or punctuation. So long as it's in the correct order, Lexis will open your case or statute. Let's pretend that you have been asked to research adverse possession, specifically in New York. Running a search in Lexis Advance is just like running a search in Google. Just like using Google, when you type in a legal phrase, Lexis will suggest phrases to you. In Lexis, let's go ahead and click Adverse Possession. You can start your research by searching everything on Lexis Advance, or from the beginning, you can go ahead and add a filter. Since you're looking for adverse possession materials specifically in New York, click the Everything drop-down menu and choose New York. This will narrow your results to only materials in New York. Once you run a search in Lexis Advance, all of your results appear on the left-hand side of the screen. All of the cases are grouped together, statutes, secondary materials, and so forth. To further narrow your results, use the filters located on the left-hand side of the screen. Let's go over secondary materials. To access secondary materials, click the Secondary Materials box on the left. Unlike cases and statutes, secondary sources are not binding on the court. You should consider starting your research in secondary materials because it will explain the law to you. Examples of secondary materials include things like journals, jurisprudence, and treatises. Further narrow your results using the filters on the bottom left. Because we ran a search for adverse possession in New York, the New York filter has already been applied. Consider further narrowing your results to unbiased sources such as treatises and jurisprudence. Click Select Multiple and choose Treatises and Jurisprudence. Practice guides can also be helpful. Hit OK. Next, further refine your results by using the Search Within Results box. If you are looking for material that is discussing both adverse possession and whether the land has been continuously used, type continuous into the Search Within Results box. Let's quickly review what we've done so far. We are looking for secondary materials that are discussing adverse possession in New York, specifically treatises and jurisprudence, and whether the land was continuously used. One last helpful tip I wanted to share. Under Sources, there is a source called Warren's Weed New York Real Property. It is the most cited to real property source in New York. You will find it particularly helpful for your memo this year. Open one of your results. As mentioned earlier, secondary sources explain the law to you. This one is about the history of adverse possession. As you read along, you will see green footnotes at the end of many sentences. The footnotes explain and support the material found within that sentence. To learn more about it, click on the arrow and drop down to the footnote. Let's go over the layout of the case. At the top, you will find the case name and citation. Next, you'll see the reporters. The reporters are different places where this specific case have been published. By clicking on the different reporters, the page numbers are updated. If you are looking for a specific page number, simply type in the page number and Lexis will drop you down to that specific page. You can also look for your search phrases in the Navigate All Terms dropdown. For example, if you wanted to find all of the places where the word continuous appears in your document, simply click Continuous and then use the arrows to navigate your results. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will see the Shepherds box. You'll learn about shepherds later. As you scroll down, the first thing you may see is the prior history. The prior history tells you what happened in the case before it got to this court. Next, you'll see the case summary. The case summary is essentially a brief of your case. It's incredibly helpful and will help you save time by telling you an overview of what happened in this case before you read it in full. Next, you'll find the LexisNexis headnotes. Just like when you're reading for class and you highlight all of the important sentences, the LexisNexis editors, who are real licensed attorneys, go through and identify all of the important parts of the case. Use the headnotes to quickly identify whether a case is on point before reading it all the way through. Simply skim all of the important parts of the case. If there is a section that you're particularly interested in, click the down arrow and it will jump you to that specific sentence within the case. When you identify a part of the case that is particularly relevant to you, highlight it. From here, you'll be given options. You can add it to a folder, annotate it, or highlight it. Let me show you how it works. Let's annotate it. Click Annotate. From here, you can make yourself a note about why this section is important to you. Simply type a note to yourself, and then you have some options. You can further color code it. For example, maybe you want all your facts in pink and click Annotate. Since you've done work on this case, you probably want to save it to a folder. To save it to a folder, click the top left folder icon. From there, to create a new folder, scroll down to Choose a Folder. From there, you're going to hit Create New Folder in the right-hand side. Title the folder whatever you'd like. Once you've created the folder, make yourself a note about this specific document so you know why it's important. Now your case is saved into the folder. To get back to the home page, click Lexis Advance Research in the top left corner. From there, you can seamlessly access your folder that you just created by scrolling down. In class, you'll learn how to use Explore Content, but here's a sneak peek. If you're looking for material from a specific jurisdiction, such as New York, click on State. From here, you can click New York. This will bring up a list of all of the material we have available specific to New York. Like before, you can run a search for adverse possession and it will research only material in New York. If you scroll down, you will find a list of all of the secondary materials we have available for the state of New York. The first few that are listed are the most cited to sources within the New York jurisdiction. You'll see Warren's there because it's the fourth most cited source in the state of New York. If you click All New York Treatises, Practice Guides, and Jurisprudence, you will get a full list of all of the treatises, practice guides, and jurisprudence we have in New York. From here, you can search all of them at once, or by choosing Select Sources to Search, you can pick which sources you would like to run a search within. For example, if you would like to run a search within just Warrens, click the box next to Warrens. Then, you can choose Additional Material. For example, maybe you'd like to also look within the LexisNexis Answer Guide for New York Real Property. Simply check the box and it will be added as a filter at the top. When you run your search, you will now be searching within just the LexisNexis Answer Guide plus Warrens. You can also use practice centers to find materials specific to a state. Click Browse, Practice Center, by jurisdiction, and then here, click New York. This will give you a list of the most used sources in the state of New York. Notice if we were to run a search for adverse possession that it already applies the New York filter. Like before, you can add specific treatises or types of material to your search. Simply choose your source, let's say Warrens, and click the magnifying glass. When you click the magnifying glass, the source will be added as a filter. One last practice center I wanted to tell you about is for Harvard. Go to Practice Center by Practice Area and choose Harvard Law School. This page contains a list of the sources that your librarians have identified as useful resources for this year's memos. It includes material for both the 1Ls and the LLMs. To learn more about how to use this page, stop by and visit one of your student reps, or you can email me at reeves.gillis@lexisnexis.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at one of the upcoming Lexis trainings on September 6th, 7th, and 8th. Good luck on your memos!